After watching everyone with more money than me play College Football 25, I finally got my hands on the game. And the first thing I started was my road to glory. I first had to choose between elite, blue chip, contributor, or underdog, and I really didn't feel like for my first ever road to glory to start as like an underdog or contributor. That's going to happen later. I also didn't really want to get right into it, so we're going blue chip. And of course I chose quarterback as my first one, and I will be going with an improviser quarterback. Then on to the creation of Dennis Archer. That's right, made up guy that I just kind of threw a bunch of random things together for. He's from Asheville, North Carolina. So going through creation, it's pretty similar to Madden, really just different faces and options, but I mean, overall pretty similar, but it looks incredible, and I also really made sure to focus on the important parts of Dennis Archer. And right after I finished creating Dennis, I had to pick a mental ability, which is pretty cool. I didn't really want to go like powerful ability, so I just ended up going with the natural. And now we finally get into the real road to glory stuff, as start out with a text from Donna Harper, local TV reporter. Yep. And, she's just interviewing me about all this stuff, what's important to Dennis. And I said stuff like, improving my abilities quickly because I do want to move on to a different, bigger school after I hopefully create a name for myself in this first few years of this first school. I definitely want to go through the transfer portal at some point, so definitely want to improve my abilities and eventually get drafted. I do want to see, that's important, but I did say strong scheme fit, because there was one school that I had in mind, but you'll see how that ends up working out. Right here, as I had a ton of options, obviously, and my original choice was that I wanted to go with Wyoming. I don't know why, I just kind of thought Wyoming sounds like a fun place. I know Josh Allen is from there. Sounds kind of fun. But I ended up looking through the options. Wyoming really wouldn't have been great. I don't think I would have been a starter. I definitely wanted to be a starter. Didn't really want to do like a position battle or anything. So after looking through all of my options, I went with the number 1, Northwestern. Now here I am in Northwestern, got my first few upgrades with the first free skill points that they give you. That's nice. And then I got another text from Philip Winters, I think, who's in local news. He's in local newspaper. And I just said pretty much the same stuff. I just want to make a name for myself and my brand increases. Then I got some important stuff from my offensive coordinator. I like this guy, so I was polite to him. You gotta be polite to your coordinator. And then we got right into preseason practice. And I just went with the simple one. And this is the second time I have played this game. Just before this, I played a quick game as Wisconsin, my favorite team, go UW. But yeah, I'm really not great, but that's perfect, This is perfect for Road to Glory, and I didn't end up doing too well, only bronze, but whatever. And then got into my weekly agenda where I spent my energy pretty evenly. It's kind of not that hard to spend it evenly, but I mean, obviously academics is going to be important at some points rather than others. Leadership at this point really don't want to, because I'm not planning on staying here, so I didn't put a lot into that, but that can also give me some other stuff. But obviously definitely want to keep up with the health and experience. And now it is game week against Miami of Ohio. And we got practice right away. I did a little bit better here scrambling. I think it's pretty fun. Don't have the fastest quarterback in the world, especially for, Big Ten on a terrible team. Northwestern is just awful. But yeah, I did a little bit better, got silver, and we are now time for Miami of Ohio. And we got the home game to start out the season in Northwestern. It's Northwest Illinois. It's such a random name, such a random school, but yeah, here we go. Now, one thing I do really like about this game is the fact that I can't choose any play that I want. You have to work up to be able to do that. That's just incredible, and it's so realistic, and I love it so much. As you can see on the first play of my career, it's a bit of a handoff to Cam Porter. I like this guy. He's all right. He's not the best, but he's all right. And then for the first pass of my career, hit an open guy. Pretty easy. Nice little slants to start out. Not awful. Then coach is blessing me with some more passing plays. I love this. One thing, though, I will say, camera angle kind of tough. You just can't move it out to see the outside guys, and that's kind of important. So, you know, there's definitely going to be some camera changes throughout this whenever there's a play that I need to see outside, and I can't. But now, 3rd and 10 on the first drive of my collegiate career. We got a pretty deep pass play here. Dennis Archer takes the snap and launches it over the defender, but the safety, got there just in time to knock it away. And it's not 3 and out, but pretty close to it, 4th and 10. Luckily, however, they did not score, so we get the ball back pretty quickly. And I started with a nice little jet touch pass, which doesn't go anywhere. It's not a great play most of the time. We do begin to chip away, eventually getting into the red zone before we are stopped on another jet pass, but whatever, it's okay. 3rd and 1, we don't get it, and we kick a field goal. Our defense is continuing to have a pretty good game as they stop Miami once again. But now, into the second quarter, we start out with a nice little screen, but unfortunately, coach calls like 3 screen plays in a row. Kind of stupid. It didn't end up working out. It ended up in a 4th and 15, so yeah. Next drive as well, 3 and out. Not great. I made some plays, and yeah, I am selling. I'm the issue at this point. Coach isn't making some great calls, but it's okay. I mean, they scored a touchdown, so now we are down, and we couldn't do it. And our wide receivers also just aren't good, so there's definitely some drops here and there. And then our defense gives up another touchdown. Not great, as we are now down big, and I need to come up big, but I just end up throwing my first pick, and it was not good. That was just on me. No excuse there. Really terrible, but I'm still having a good time because this game is incredible. But yeah, then going into the second half, we get a bit of a drive going all the way into the red zone up to the 10, where I eventually throw my first touchdown pass of my career. Nice little short pass to Cam Porter out on the outside, and he runs in for the easy touchdown. Finally, we get some more points. Took us long enough. But unfortunately, our kicker is a college kicker, and he didn't make it. So that's great. We are now down 5 instead of just 4. But our defense does get another stop, and we're doing pretty good. We're already up into like the 25, but then I get sacked. Coach calls a screenplay of all plays. Just fantastic. And we end up having to kick, which we do make from farther out. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Now 14-12 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, which is where we're on 3rd and 6. We can't end up making it, and we have to punt again. Just, yeah, not great. And, I mean, it wasn't really my fault. I threw a great pass, and it was dropped. But, yeah, I'm not doing too great in my first game. Coach could be doing better. Receivers could be doing better, and we are down by only 2 points to Miami of Ohio. But, yeah, just a lot of those factors ended with a 4th and 4 from our own 48. We were down 17-12 after our defense gave up another field goal. And yeah, so I nearly got sacked. Couldn't get it away in time as Miami steals the win from us. Yeah, not a great first game. Really not. Just not a great way, as we probably should have beaten Miami. We are a Big Ten team somehow. But yeah. Now, going into week 2, I speak with our academic advisor, and it's important stuff. I definitely don't want to go under 2.0 as it's a fairly academically focused school. So that's kind of important that I don't do that. So I definitely want to keep putting at least a little bit of my energy each week into studying. And then I do get my first NIL deal, but it does cost a bit of energy, and I definitely don't want to focus on boosting my brand when I can't win games. So I'm declining it for now to be able to focus on football and get better. It was then time for week 2 practice, and I did option attack, which I definitely like a lot. It's pretty easy because, I mean, the defenders are so goddamn slow. I can just run past them anyway. But this is the first time I did it, so I wasn't that great, and I only ended up getting silver. But that's okay, as it is now game 2 against the Duke Blue Devils, which we are barely better than in all categories. So let's see how this goes. And here we go, another home game back-to-back in Northwestern for the Wildcats, and we are in our all black. Oh, chef's kiss. Beautiful uniforms in night. Oh my god. Awesome, but that doesn't matter. Football matters. Let's get to football. And first drive, 3 and out. Not a lot of great calls by coach, just being honest. But, yeah, not great. 4th and 16 is how it ended up, so yeah, not great. Our defense then gives up a touchdown, so we're now down 7-0. And next drive, 3rd and 3. It's, yeah, defense is, our offensive line, definitely a problem. I get sacked quite a lot in this, and it's really not pretty. I do get it away, but that just hurts my completion percentage and coach trust and all that. So, yeah, offensive line definitely needs some improving for the future if I want to stay with Northwestern. At least our defense does get another stop for us, as we have it in pretty good field position. But, yeah, coach continuing to have just a down game, personally. Not saying that I am any better, as I immediately threw a pick. Yeah, not great. Just a bad throw overall. So, yeah. Yeah. But at least our defense only lets a field goal through, and then coach calls one of his famed screen passes, which actually works pretty well. But then going into the second quarter, the first play of scrimmage after the second quarter was a pass. Technically, it really wasn't. It was more like a handoff, but, you know, jet touch passes. Coach loves them, and they finally work as big man, wide receiver, don't know the team yet, goes to the house, and I get my second passing touchdown of the year. Don't really count it, but the stat line counts it, so I'm completely fine with that as we finally get on the board to make it 10-7. Our defense does hold them to no points once again, but a couple of bad calls and sacks make it a 3rd and 22, and yeah, coach calls a screen. It worked for yards, but not for first down. Then next drive, defense continuing to hold strong. 3rd and 32 after a sack. Yeah, not a great way as throw a pick. Second pick. Yeah, no, not great. I nearly got the tackle though, but I didn't. So what's the point? But no need to worry, as after a really just methodical drive, we get it at the 3, 2nd and goal. I do my stuff, my audibles, and it works wide open for the touchdowns. 3rd passing touchdown on the season, and we get the lead for the first time in this game to make it 14-10. Yes, frickin' sir. Also, number 7, Calvin Johnson II. Didn't know that he had a son, but pretty frickin' cool. Then coming out of halftime, Duke gets the ball first, but our defense holds them to no points, and we get all the way down to the 5, where on 3rd and goal I threw not the best I could, but I got up to the 1. 4th and goal, and coach didn't want to go for it for whatever reason. So, yeah, we could have had a touchdown, but coach didn't want it. And we also we missed the field goal. And, yeah, that wasn't great, but we did get the ball back. I'm assuming after a turnover by Duke, back into really positive territory. So I'll take that, I guess. We would then end up working our way back up to the 23, where on a routine passing play, the offensive line was pretty good, and there was literally not a single soul out on the left side of the field, wide open. Could have thrown it to the tight end, but I was like, I kind of want to do some running here, so I take it in by myself for my 3rd touchdown of the game. Yes, sir, Dennis Archer gets it in. Of course, though, when we take a big lead, Duke strikes right back with a touchdown of their own, but they do miss the field goal, or extra point, my bad. But doesn't really matter, so now on 3rd and 8 on the next drive, we don't get it. And, yeah, 4th and 8, we had to punt, which isn't ideal, with Duke scoring once again. Only a field goal, though. Our defense is doing as much as they can, because they're not a very good unit, but they are fighting as hard as they really can. But after a couple of first downs and the 2-minute warning and a few Duke timeouts, we seal the game, at least I pretty much do, by running it all the way down to the 1 for a 1st and goal situation, where Cam Porter runs it in for the game sealing touchdown with 1:46 left. And our defense would hold, so all I have to do is kneel it out once, and we get the first dub of the season against Duke. Not too bad of a game. I did pretty decent except for 1 pick, but I mean, that's just kind of what's going to happen. 3 touchdowns on the day, 264 passing yards, and not too shabby of a completion percentage as well. But to finish out this episode, I do get a text from my tight end, and he's warning me to not look at social media because apparently they're just cremating me because I threw a pick, I think. I don't know. So I'm just going to ignore that because I really just don't care. But that is the end of this episode. Next week we got FCS Midwest. Should be an easy dub. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching episode 1. And I hope to doing this a lot more. It's so much fucking fun. I love this game so much, dude. Glad I could finally get my hands on it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.